So this is what it looks like, and this is what I wanted to show you. So when you turn the page, this is your sight word page, the new sight word. They will read it, and then they will say all of the sight words, but they will circle the new one. We always circle sight words to remind them not to underline them or not to decode them or try to sound them out. They say them all, and then they circle the new one, saying it a little bit louder to kind of staple it into their memory. And then they do that for this whole page. And then when they're done, they will go to sentence number 5 and 8, and they will circle it. On sentence 5, they will find the word R and they'll circle it. And on sentence 8, they'll find the word R and circle it. And then that's page 1. And these are all kind of bite-sized little pages for active minds who need short assignments. Okay, so after the sight word page is the new grapheme page. And then this is where you will teach them that the ER grapheme says er. And then they will practice saying the sound of each grapheme on this page. And I will have the correct sound, the correct pronunciation for you. And then when they get to the ER, then they will say its sound, so that they can review what they've already learned, and then they're adding the new one that they're learning for this lesson. That's what this page is. This is the new phoneme page. So now they are listening for the sound er, and then they are marking the bubble that has that phoneme in it. So for teacher, it would be, they would break up the sounds, t, e, ch, er, and then they would mark the bubble that has the er sound in it. And we would do that for this whole page. So hammer, er. So this is just phonemes. That's why there's not as many dots as there are letters in the word, because we're not working with letters, we're working with sounds. And the er is right there. So that's how you do this phoneme page. And the directions for everything are right up there. Say, stretch, and separate the sounds. Mark the dot where you hear the new phoneme. So every page has its own little directions for you right there. Okay, so this new words page is where they will start their pencil reading. So they would put a dot underneath each sound, say the sound of each phoneme, I, S, T, er. Then they would connect the dots and say the sounds all in one breath. Sister. Then a little faster, sister, and then blend it together. Sister. And then they would locate and underline that sentence, that word in sentence number 2. So over here in the sentences page, we would find sister in sentence number 2, and we would underline it. Sister, right there. So this really helps when they get to the sentences page, because so many of their words will already be circled or underlined, and in the vocab page you're going to see that we're going to box some words. So when they get to this page, they will see that they already know and have read many of the words on here, so that it's not intimidating or scary when they go to read those sentences. So that's what this new words page is. You would dot the sounds and pencil read each word, and then they would locate them in the sentences that are indicated. Okay, the next page is the vocabulary page. So they would dot the sounds, t, e, m, p, er, blend them together, temper, and they will use either Siri or Alexa or Google or whatever you have, if you have anything. Otherwise they'd use the tutor or the teacher to find out what that word means if they don't already know. So a really important reason why I like to use the technology and have them ask Alexa or Google is because that it forces them to articulate each sound in the word really, really clearly. And that really helps with phonemic awareness and really helps tell their brain that each single letter has a job, each single grapheme has a job. And if one of those isn't articulated correctly, then the Siri is not going to know which word you're trying to say. So it's a really good exercise. And then I usually have them draw a little picture if they need a little clue on what that word means, so that when they are reading it in the sentences, if they forget, they can come back to their vocab page and find out what that word means. So then after they have learned the meaning of the word, then they would go to the sentence 6, and then they would box it. So in sentence 6, I would find temper and I would box it. Next I have, this is where we usually play our game. These I have 2 pages of the same words so that you will have the paired word cards, and you would just cut these into your own cards. You can just leave them just paper, or you can put them on index cards or whatever you want, but this will give them that additional practice in a fun setting. And they really, really look forward to these games, and they don't realize how much they're actually learning when they do it. This is the sentences page. They would read the sentence, and then they would choose if they want to, but draw, describe, or act out what the sentence is saying. And the kids really love this, and it really improves their comprehension. The kids that act it out, they are hilarious. It's so fun to watch. And you also get some pretty good artists that like to use their creative talents when they get to sketch what's happening. And then the most important part of this is step 3. Read the sentence a second time. This next page is where they can draw if they want to draw what's happening in these sentences. There's a couple of pages with boxes, and then that's it. So that's what lesson 10 looks like. That's what the first 1 to 10 lessons look like.